Welcome to the Rocket Launcher Podcast. This is episode 4. I am Supreme King, your host, and I am joined with my co-hosts.
It's your guy on Mazes.
All right. I thought you cut out for a second. I was like, oh, shoot. Because he didn't respond immediately. I was like, oh, man. He just jumped out that fast. I was like, dang, man. Dang. You ever see some of those channels or like podcasts or something where they have like they'll have somebody come in there and it's like a guest or something, but it's like somebody, they tell them to call in, and it's just like this awkwardness of everybody trying to get things set up for like 20, 30 seconds. It's like, oh, you got to mute yourself in the background. And then it's like, they'll talk to them, and then it's just like awkward pause. Then all of a sudden they come in staticky, and it's like, can you hear me? It's like, yeah, we can hear you now. It's like, oh my God, I hate, it's like, don't do that. Like, I just want one or two people that we know, and they're going to be on there. So I say that while talking about a podcast. It's like, we just starting off, but that's the one thing I want to avoid immediately. I don't want to have call-ins and stuff, and it's just like, yeah, you got to mute yourself. I'm like, can you hear me? Like, oh, I think you cut out. And it's like, nah, man. Nah.
Yeah, no, that stuff has to be set up a little beforehand if we're going to bring other people on so we know it's going to work okay. Yeah. I got distracted by the gameplay. My bad.
No, don't worry about it. You know what's funny? As I hit record, I forgot to actually... Let me see if I could do this. So, jump cut. Okay. All right.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to start... We're actually not going to start with that. We're going back to that. I'm sorry. The only reason I had to redo it for anybody who's actually watching this is because it was like 40 minutes in, and it's like, no, we technically need the full hour first. You can't be 40 minutes in, because once we start getting into the other part, they only saw like 60 seconds. They'll be all right. But
Yeah.
all right, so starting off, so previously, if you've been paying attention to my page, I talked about the Nintendo Direct, and I put out a quick vid on that. I'm not sure a lot of you saw it. Nobody saw it, but that's okay. I don't know who's going to see this, but they're going to see it one day. And so for the people who actually tune in, nobody's got your input on Nintendo's little mini Direct or partner show. So I think we could start there. We'll get your recap, or if you want to highlight anything. How did you feel about that show?
Yeah, so the Nintendo Direct was it was okay. It was okay. Like, not too many things like really caught my attention. Okay. I think it's cool for if anybody only has a Switch, so they get to try out some of the Persona games, and the Fire Emblem game looks pretty good. But a huge chunk of it was, man, Sonic Frontiers looked horrible.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's just that graphic graphics.
Yeah, the Switch is the Switch is a good system for what they do for some of their first party content, but every time they do a port, whenever it's coming from third party, it's just like it struggles, and
yeah,
I don't know who's really buying third party on Nintendo unless you are only a Nintendo gamer. I feel bad for you if you are. And that's no offense, because it's like, not only is it a downgrade, but you usually end up paying more because it's on a cartridge. Like, it's more than like the disc-based game, even if it's on Steam, you know. So
I always imagine, like, for the people of like, because like me, we're able to just go out and just, if I want a new system, I can just go buy a new system. But, you know, not everybody has it like that. So if they really have to choose, that kid who like was like super into Legend of Zelda growing up, right? Well, then it might be appealing to go get the Switch so you can get Breath of the Wilds, but then it might have been, well, getting the Switch means no PlayStation or something like that. So then it's well, now I gotta like save up like to try and get a PlayStation, but then if the games are just coming out on Switch, it's like, do I drop the $500 for a PS5 or a $300 for a PS4, or do I get a few games on the Switch that are not as graphically as great, I guess, as it could have been, but I get to fully enjoy them anyways.
You also have those people
with those, but
Yeah, I was just gonna say you also got those people who will probably go quote unquote rogue, and then they'll get the Steam Deck and do all the Steam Deck things. But the Steam
True.
Deck is not
True.
really a appealing to a child. I don't think a child would
Yeah.
know what to do. They'll know if they got an older brother or a dad or a mom or somebody who could show them. But at the same time, they're
Right.
also showing them how to do something that might not be legal, depending on what you're trying to do. That's the most
Yeah.
consolidation
Oh,
that you'll get, though. But yeah, the Switch is
yeah.
still
Also,
200 at
like,
the least.
oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry. Yeah, you go ahead. I don't know what I'm talking about.
I was gonna say, I feel like though sometimes like would it be false advertisement if they just said Sonic Frontiers was coming to Switch, but then we just kind of know it's not going to be graphically as great, or do they have to show it so it's not false advertisement because people were expecting the graphically enhanced one? Because I feel like that the Switch is not going to be able to do it that
Right.
graphically, and it always looks weird when you just had a show that showed off the game, and then like later the Switch is like, look what we got, and it just looks worse.
Yeah, I don't
It's
know
not
if
even
it's.
bad. What isn't bad. It's just when you compare it, it looks worse.
I think it would have been better for them to just not even show it, because they could have still got away with just saying it's on the Switch too. But
Yeah.
also, there are games that I think that they said is on the Switch, but didn't really show it. But they'll say in like the fine print or something that it's the cloud version. Like I think they show a Plague's Tale as
Uh,
well, and the Plague's Tale is the cloud version. And from what I noticed, the Sonic game isn't going to be the cloud version, unless I'm wrong on that. I didn't. I saw that was going to be the regular game. So the Plague's Tale
yeah.
probably was too demanding, even though, I don't know. It's different developers. They do whatever they do, but I just know at the end of the
True.
day, I wouldn't get that game on that system if I was to get it. I barely liked it for
Yeah.
what it looked like as it is, but not on the Switch, man.
I agree.
That was just because outside of what was like the Switch, outside of how am I trying to say this? Outside of how Sonic looked, as far as how it plays, what you're doing, like it got criticism as it was. Like I'm one of those people on my browser, I can see the dislikes for YouTube because you can bring
Oh,
them back or whatever. And it was like straight down the middle. Half the people, like when it was debuted, I think through IGN, half the people like it, half the people didn't. And I think you said before that's usually worse because more people would have disliked it if you could see it. And so
yeah.
it it just I said before Sonic didn't have an identity. People disagree with me. I think I mean it didn't look like Sonic to me, but outside of what they showed when it was on the Switch, it looked worse. It looked a lot worse. And I was just like, man, is it that bad? Because at the end of the day, it's going to be more expensive. Like, they'll come out all the same price, but it's going to drop in price on all the other systems except for the Switch. Like, the Switch, it usually will never go lower than $30, where you might
I
even catch
know.
it on 15 one day on the other system.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it
yeah.
definitely can't be on Switch if I'm gonna play it though. Uh,
Was there anything
but I'll
from
also
the
say
show
from
that you
that
liked? Yeah.
from the direct.
Yeah, from the direct.
So the Mario and Rabbids game. So I never thought I would actually like one of those. Like it always looked ridiculous to me, and I was like, okay, this ain't for me.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like a nice introduction for someone who wants to start getting into turn-based games,
Yeah.
like strategic, like strategy, like those type of games. It seems like it's easy enough to like really get you into those, and it didn't look too bad. It might be something I look into. Uh, yeah, that one looked good. Something I didn't like, which I think I was watching one of your videos, and I think you mentioned that you were interested in it. The Pac-Man game, Pac-Man World.
Yeah. I remember
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I was just gonna say. I remember when I was going through, like when I first got a PC, I went and just grabbed all the ROMs from yesteryear for everything that I didn't already own and the systems I didn't own. And I remember like at first I was going through one by one, but that was taking too long. And I was just like, you know what? Before we go through and find the hidden gems, get everything that's name value, that you know the name. And I remember Pac-Man being one of them. I remember that because I also had certain games that I was like testing ROMs on just to see if they worked. And I know Crash was the main one, but I remember Pac-Man being one that I was going to test. It was like a while back. This was like in 2020 when I first got the laptop PC, right? And so like when I saw it, I was like, okay, I'm a platformer person. So I would look forward to it, but I do want it to actually be better than the original. Because if it's not, then I wouldn't mind just going through the ROM. Because it's just Pac-Man.
Okay.
You know? Because that's how I was with what was the game called? SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom. I actually opted to just play the ROM. And the only reason I played the real thing was because it was available on PS Plus. Other than that, I was like, I don't mind playing the PS2 version. And that's what I was doing. I tested the PS2 version and the GameCube version. Both of them were through emulation. And
yeah, I remember seeing the original Pac-Man World one, and I don't know, it never interested me because in my head it's like, that's not Pac-Man.
Yeah. It's like Kirby.
Makes sense. Like it didn't look like the arcade. It just felt.
Yeah, it's like that would be the third party Kirby for anybody who's like not on Nintendo. It's like there's your Kirby game. That's like you get a Kirby game too. There you go. And then for everybody else who's on Nintendo and they're like that's their diehard. Like okay, you get a second Kirby game. Kinda use your imagination. you get another one. Cause that's kind of how it looked to me. Cause they were showing it from different, like different styles of gameplay, I guess. So
very accurate.
Yeah, that's the main one that I saw that I thought that I would want to play. Most of that show I didn't even care for. I didn't want to be negative about it, and I didn't really sound negative. I was telling people like, "Do I sound negative?" Like, one person told me that I didn't sound negative, but like I didn't.
But I mean, there wasn't really. I wasn't gonna fake hype for it, right?
Yeah,
like
it wasn't much for me, really.
Yeah.
But the only thing about their show, I just want to. I'm sorry. I just wanted to say the only thing about it is they keep going with that PBS music, or just it sounds like they're trying to present it to little kids, and I'm like, all of your quote unquote ambassador people are grown men and women. No matter how much they try to make themselves look VTuber-ish without being a VTuber, it's like they are all grown. Like some of them are grown. You know what I'm saying? Anybody who's like going on and on about Pokemon right now, these people are old. Like I just got to go there. I'm old too. I ain't gonna front, but it ain't. I don't see no. It don't be no 4-year-olds. It don't beat them. Like they'll play some stuff. They mainly play because that's what their parents give them. Because that's what their parents think that they would want to play. Even though we all know most of them are on Fortnite or Call of Duty or GTA. That's where they're at. But as far as like the show, where you like when you talk about a side character or somebody you haven't seen in a while, anything Fire Emblem, I can't even say it. Any Fire Emblem, like anything like that, that's for grown-ups. Ain't nobody else checking for that. Who is checking for that? They don't even know it. They wasn't born yet. Like the rest of them wasn't born yet. So that particular game reminds me of Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. And that's a game that I still haven't bought yet. And the only reason was because the performance wasn't there when it came to the Switch. It was having issues. And I played Breath of the Wild. That was supposed to be the events leading up to the actual game. And I was interested in playing that, but the frame rate was dipping. And I was just like, I don't know. I haven't seen anybody do a video like saying like, hey, this is how it plays in 2022. It's better. It's fixed. I don't see none of that. No, none of. I would like for a YouTuber, a big Nintendo person to actually cover that, because
it's gotta be you. You gotta do it.
I ain't about to do it unless if we get a donation and somebody, I'll put it. I'll have I'll have a wish list ready to go, and if we get a donation, then boom. I still haven't did that yet, so that's on my to do list is a wish list. But I think this.
You're the one that wants the video. So you gotta monetize yourself.
Monetize myself. I ain't nowhere near ready for monetization yet. I wish I was. It's like, oh my gosh. But anyways,
don't we all?
This might go.
I would say the other.
Yeah.
That look interesting to me from Nintendo show.
Yeah.
The Mega Man Battle Network Legacy Collection.
Yeah.
And Little Noah. I remember just seeing
Noah.
that with Little Noah Zion of Paradise. It looked good. And I don't remember what it was about from my list. I just remember that one sticking out to me. It's like, this is the one to try.
Remember, did you pay attention that one of their games was supposed to be exclusive? It was like only one. It was the one where it actually has some co-op elements, but it was that black and white game. I can't even think of it right now.
Oh, Blanc.
Yeah,
Blanc,
like
right?
Yeah, don't it look like a game that'll make you cry? That's what it looked like to me.
It does. It does.
I'm like, that's a tearjerker. I don't want to cry nobody. Like, unless you, that's a couple game right there.
Fighting for survival while taking care of each other, and they're all hugged up and like scared. It looked like a crying game.
It looked like It Takes Two, but it's like not as polished and stuff. Obviously, but they want you to cry at the end of the day. So,
how do they describe it? It's cathartic.
Yeah,
that's the word, cathartic.
But I saw that they said that was a Switch exclusive, and so it might end up on PC later. That. Yeah, that was the only one. The rest of them, I imagine, everything's going to be on Steam or PlayStation, Xbox. But the biggest thing
you just reminded me though. Oh, go ahead.
No,
I got something
ahead.
To throw in. So
before I segue, go ahead.
Okay. So it's about Nintendo, just not about the Direct. But I completely forgot this topic. I just remembered. Mm-hmm. So there's some guy spent a bunch of money to get 100 shares in Nintendo.
Yeah, that's where I'm going. So,
to be able to attend a shareholder meeting. And he went to the shareholder meeting, and he didn't expect to be able to talk, but he did. The floor did open up, and he went in to ask, why ain't they remastering F-Zero?
So that's
and it was like, when I heard it, it was like, wait a minute, I'm reading. It's like, can you imagine all these like execs in suits, like over a Zoom call talking, and then they're like, we have a new shareholder, and then the dude has to use Google Translate, and he's wearing his like Nintendo T-shirt in the back, and he's just like, "Where's F-Zero?" and everything. And now they gotta answer that. And it's like, these are the corporate people who don't know what he's talking about.
That's the thing too. Like, it should be like that. Like, what y'all talking about? Like, y'all ain't talking about nothing but trying to get more money. And it's like, go get more money somewhere else. We want games. Like, get more games, and more games. I forgot where I heard that from, but. Shout out to Sarah Bond. That's who I heard it from. But like literally, like that is where I was going with this. So I'm glad you did that. Like here's the thing. So I have a vid that's gonna come out probably Monday, July 4th. And I don't know if anybody's gonna watch because of July 4th, but literally I said that I was calling a bluff. Like that's bull, basically. Because you can't realistically, I think the articles and stuff were saying that they said they can't realistically make a game for all of their franchises, or they can't bring back everything, right? But at the same time, there's like 10 Mario games. It's like 10.
Yeah.
More than 10, probably, if we actually sat down and said them all. And it's like, Mario, basically, you could have covered all this if you just gave Mario a YouTube channel or something. Like Mario, it's like first he's playing tennis, then he's golfing, he's in the Olympics in the winter, in the summertime, wherever that is with Sonic. And then there's a racing game or something that's not Mario Kart. Was it Sonic Kart? Or, I don't know. It was like, maybe it's part of the Olympics, but then there's the Mario Kart, and then there's Super Smash Brothers. Now, for Mario Kart, Super Smash Brothers, and Odyssey, it's like, I get it. These are the ones that everybody's playing. But who is actually sitting there and they're really raving for Mario Golf the same way that they're raving? You know what I'm saying? Like, the YouTubers, like, you got to not pay attention to the YouTubers on this part because they're just doing a job. The ones who are like Nintendo YouTubers, they got to hype it up. But it's like, when you tell me you can't do all these other games, but you at the same time, you can license out for Mario to have the game with the rabbits, you couldn't have done another one of your other franchises? It's like you was already doing Mario first party in-house 10, 15 times, and then you license out to Ubisoft to do the rabbits game. While they're still Ubisoft, they're running their own subscription, they're running their own games. Like, you couldn't have had them do a different game. Now, don't get me wrong, the rabbits game, people are still going to play it. It's probably a big deal for certain people and stuff. Once a game exists, there's always going to be some fan base for it. But you can't tell me there's not another deal there where you can have them do something else. Ice Climbers, Donkey Kong. You know what I mean? Like, all of these.
Let's be real. I'm going to call out one of these games. Okay. Disney Dreamlight Valley. That didn't need to be made, as opposed to F-Zero or one of these other ones. Like Disney, I don't know if you remember that game, but it's Sims, but with Disney characters. It could have easily been a Sims DLC
like that, yeah.
Characters walking around. It looked like a phone game. And it's like, no, that could have been F-Zero or the Ice Climbers or something.
Yeah, like all I'm saying is, like, you had all these different games or all these different guys that were inside of Smash Brothers with all the DLCs. And you did do something for Monster Hunter at first. Even though I think Monster Hunter is on PC as well, Monster Hunter Rise. But all these other franchises, there's, like, for me, it would be Star Fox. You know, it would be Star Fox. There's Ness and Link. Not Link. Ness and I forgot what was the other guy name. It's I forgot, but somebody would know.
Not the Villager.
You know who I'm talking about. Ness was the guy with the yo-yo, and he's in Smash, but there was another one there too. Lucas, or I think it's Lucas.
Lucas, yeah. On there.
But it's like,
I hate Lucas.
Yeah, these games.
He should have a game. It's just, I have a friend from Smash Bros. Who's like top notch with Lucas and just beat everybody. And just, I hate Lucas, but I get the point.
But I'm like, now I understand if you was only coming out with a game every now and then, but it's like every time you do a direct or something, it's like, here's some games, here's some ports, and then here's more Mario games. And it's like, I get Mario is like your flagship dude, but it was like, outside of having Mario 3D Land and then Mario 3D All-Stars, like, you was still making more Mario games that people don't play as much as the others. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's really be clear here. It's like the people who was playing them are the YouTubers because of YouTube. And they've cornered themselves in there. They cornered themselves into that content, so now they have to do it. You know what I mean? But outside of that, it's like, who is really going to sit here and tell me that they are playing the Mario Golf like that, and that was needed? Because you still came out with Wii Sports at the same time. Or not Wii Sports, but Switch Sports, or however they say it. But so that, you did tennis again with the Mii characters. You did, what was the other one? It wasn't just tennis, but the sports games. It was like a bunch of them.
Bowling and a bunch of others.
The bowling is the main one where everybody tear up their TV, right? And it's just like, you did that. And I think that was the same direct. Wasn't it the same one where they showed, not tennis, but I don't think it was golf either. It was Strikers,
Mario
the newest
Strikers?
one. Yeah,
The
the
soccer
newest,
game?
the soccer one. I'm like, Mario doing everything, but it's all Mario. It's like, because outside of that, then you do have the Luigi game, Luigi's Mansion. That's technically different, but it's still under the Mario umbrella. But then it's taking you
Right.
Yeah, like I'm one of those people where I never understood why it was so hard for them to do Metroid Prime 4, because when I think about it, I said this in the solo, like, ain't it supposed to basically just be PG-13 Doom and you just take the gore out? Like, what all does she got to do? Yeah. Samus, outside of being it's Doom, and then you turn into a marble every now and then. That's it. And like, you literally shooting the same Ridley. It was like, you're gonna shoot the bat, whatever, not a bat, whatever he is. You're gonna shoot him every single game, no matter what. And I'm not trying to bury their development and stuff, but it was like, when I was hearing that they had to scrap it like 2-3 times, I'm like, ain't it just Doom? Or at the very least, it's like, you go on another platform and it's like, there's a shooter every show. Like every show. It's like, all you got to do is change the skin to the Samus like arm, and then change it to like those little, just like how somebody made the Pokemon game where you shooting the Pokemon on Twitter or whatever. It's like, you change it to like those little Metroids, and that's it. I was like, how hard is it for them to do that? I don't know, but somehow we pushing out all these different Marios, whether it was like him in the Olympics with Sonic, or the golf, the tennis, and so I still, those games have their place, and I'm pretty sure there are still fans who really, really like them. But it was just like, you're gonna tell me you can't realistically do these other games, but then at the same time, you will find a way to make sure Mario comes out every year in some fashion.
Yep.
Every year, it is Mario again. And when it really comes down to it, the S tier category of Mario is going to be Mario Kart, Super Smash Brothers, and Mario Odyssey. Everything else is debatable, and you can take it down a notch. Literally. You do not need to have 50 Marios and nobody else. You can have 5 to 10 Marios and then one of everybody else. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate the new Kirby game. I appreciate that you still did a Fire Emblem, but you can't realistically do all the other ones. And then
there's more. Yeah.
My only other rant on that was just, you have so many indie developers that jump on the platform because they want their game on the eShop. You couldn't have licensed out the name of some of these older games, because a lot of these games are older. A lot of these names, like one of these indie developers couldn't have made a real new Game & Watch game. Like, they couldn't have done that. You couldn't have gave that to somebody. It's like, how much more graphical could it have been, Or
I feel like everyone that's been in like the Smash Bros, that was the time to also start giving them all a solo game, because there's a lot of people who may have jumped in on this one, so it's like they're like, who's this character? Well, now they're getting all their own games. Like, that should have been the focus and everything. You have your market there, played them in Smash Bros, now play them in their own. It's crazy that they did that. You don't hurt somebody's feelings though. There's gonna be one person who got like 200 hours of Mario Golf, and you just tore that game down.
Well, here's the thing, because I heard that Mario Golf came out with not all of its content at launch, and they were saying they were going to release content later on. Now, they did say it was going to be free, but there was stuff that they showed in the trailer, like from Mario Odyssey New Donk City. They showed that you was going to be able to golf in New Donk City, but it did not, like, you didn't get New Donk City at launch. So the content, technically, that was one of their games that did come out not finished, or not all of the content was complete at launch. And so,
because they needed to get golf out.
There's a bigger YouTuber that made a video that's more of a Nintendo based channel, and he basically called Mario Strikers mid. and was saying how
Uh-oh.
strikers, once you just play a game or two, that's it. It's not much to it. It's just like if you was playing a basketball game or a football game. But with strikers, it's like that's really it, because it's not like you going through teams and tournaments and stuff. It's just like what you get there, the characters is what you get for the most part. But that's still a full price game. It's still their first party lineup. And it's not bad. I actually still wanted to buy Strikers. It's not high on my list of stuff, but it's like if I wanted something on Nintendo Next, that would be something. But I don't like the idea that them saying we can't make everything, because you still did with Mario. That's just my whole thing is Mario still got, if somebody had another idea for Mario to do anything else, they would still make it. You know what I mean?
But like they're redoing Monkey Island. Didn't they do, what was that it was another game like that. It was like some old, like the Super Monkey Ball or something like that.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
It's just like, if you could go back and make those, or the 8th one, but if you go back and make those,
I think that's multiplayer.
You can make some of these other ones.
Yeah, sometimes they camouflage their releases by porting a lot of stuff in the middle. But I just feel like my other thing though was just Ubisoft is doing the game with Mario and Rabbids. And it's like, if you trust them with your highest guy, this is their John Cena. You know what I'm saying? This is their flagship dude. That you should be able to trust them with all these side characters in Super Smash Brothers. You should be able to, or not even just them. You could, if you wanted to have a certain quality, you know what I'm saying? Maybe you wouldn't give them to CD Projekt Red, but you would give them to anybody else. You would license one out to Naughty Dog if you wanted to, or you license one out, you know what I mean? Like to anybody else. Because you gave your biggest name to Ubisoft. You know? So if you're giving your biggest name to Ubisoft, then you can give out some of them other titles to other people to have them do it. And if it was a cost issue, you can have these indie developers do it. Why wouldn't they do it? That would be the opportunity for them. They're trying to make games to make sure that it's on the eShop. And it's like, it wouldn't even be Mario, because we're saying there's too much Mario, right? So it's like, what about any of these other games? I don't have the list of Super Smash Brothers in front of me, but I know their character list is long. It's long. It's to the point where Sora was the last DLC that just got released, and that game was released in like 2017 or 2017, right? And it's like you kept bringing all these characters in, and I think Waluigi was somebody who people was upset was never made the cut. And it's like, you can't trust somebody else with those characters, but you trust them with Mario? They could have made a Waluigi game. It's still okay. You still have the Rabbit game fans, right? And they could still get that game. But Ubisoft, like, what? How many Assassin's Creeds? Like, you can't tell me they'll find a way to make that too. They keep so many games in rotation coming out all the time. They could have made another Mario game for you. You could have fronted that cost. You don't have the money for that, but you just created an amusement park. How many people are going to be able to go to that amusement park right now? You opened it during the pandemic. Right? Like, that's a bad word, right? I wasn't even supposed to say that. See? You opened it then, though. Like, how many people are going to be able to go that on a daily basis or whatever? It's like, first of all, we in the States. We going to Cedar Point. We ain't going there. So, we ain't going there. So they could, I was just like, no, I don't believe that. For me. That's all I was saying. It came off negative. It's still negative. It sounds negative now. But we can move on from that. I don't know. You had anything else to say about that? I think we spent enough time on that.
Covered it.
I think we did talk briefly about Sonic. Was there anything else you wanted to mention on Sonic real quick? About the
so looking at that gameplay, so at first I was wondering what they were going to do besides that like little alien world where you fight stuff, and it looks like it has those little mini worlds that turn into like a normal like Sonic. What was that, Sonic Battle 2? Right. Everything like the old Dreamcast ones.
Yeah.
Where it's like the linear level and you just run your way through. So it looks like it has those built in. So that means that overworld, it's like your main goal is just to get to those other little worlds.
You know what's funny? Dreamcast Sonic was peak Sonic for me. It's like the second they went from that to PS2, it was like, what is with all these experiments? Sonic is the character that's been experimented on so many different times. It was just like, all he got to do, if somebody disagree with me, I'm like, yo, he really do only got to do is run. Like, he just run.
Yeah.
Hit an obstacle every now and then for all the coins to pop up everywhere. But them doing the hub world thing, I kind of figured that, because I remember how Sonic Adventures 1 was, where you ran around in there and then you go into a board. And I thought that was done very well. I just feel like the way it looks now, it looks like before you go into a world that it's copying another franchise that's way bigger than it right now, Breath of the Wild. And it might still be a good game. That combat looked hilarious to me. I was like, that combat still looked hilarious to me. It looked hilarious.
It does. But, you're not the only one to compare it to Breath of the Wild. It's just weird. Kind of the only two that's like, ugh, it looks like Breath of the Wild. Or everybody else is like, this beautiful overworld that looks like Breath of the Wild. And it's like, I don't need everything to look like that game.
But no, man.
Breath of the Wild be Breath of the Wild.
We keep it real here. Let's keep it real. If you take the name Sonic off and you slap on Biomutant, is anybody gonna play it? No.
Nope.
Was Biomutant? Did Biomutant? They not do the same thing as far as the way the world looked? And it was open world.
That's
and
true.
You were running around and you were a different animal. What was he? A raccoon? What was he? He was something.
He was
He was a guardian of the galaxy.
I would have played
what he was, but
I would have played Biomutant, but like I heard about it was just slightly repetitive, but then also the annoying like dialogue and things, which I heard they fixed. So I still plan on giving the game a chance at some point.
There was an update on that, so I think you have the option to turn him off, which means they totally paid a guy for nothing. I guess I don't know, but shout out to that. I put Biomutant's case in the back of one of my videos that should go up this week, so you'll get to see that as an Easter egg. But Sonic. I'm gonna be honest. I don't want to play that game. I just don't. I don't. And I don't want to be that person that sounds like that, but it's like, if it shows up on PS Plus or Game Pass, then I'm there. Or if it's an Epic free game, I'm there. But other than that, it's got to have some major discount where I can't avoid it. It's got to have like War Tech Fighters was like $4. It was like I couldn't avoid that.
Yeah.
So if it does that, then I'm there. But Sonic is like, I don't understand how they always miss the mark on that. Like I don't want to judge this one yet. I'm gonna wait till it come out, and I'm gonna see. I usually watch the Rad Brad. Shout out to him. I will watch his content.
Rad Brad.
Maybe Angry Joe. That's your guy, right? Angry Joe. I don't watch him as much, but
I watch him weekly.
No, you watch him weekly. That's what's up. Yeah, it's just his reviews will always be like a month late. Like I appreciate it because he still went through the game where you got to side eye some of these other reviewers. Like, nah, homie, you on some ambassador type junk. You did like 30, 40 minutes, an hour, So
I think one of the differences too, Rad Brad, like he plays it up front as soon as it comes out, and he's putting it on YouTube. Angry Joe plays the game through Twitch usually, and will occasionally upload the videos to YouTube, like most of them. But he starts playing it through Twitch, and then towards like the end of the month, he goes, "Okay, I'm going to compile like my summary," and tries to make like a 10 to 40 minute, depending on how Like it's 40 minutes if the game's really bad, but like 10 to 40-minute video on like, you know, a summary of the game, but he likes to try and complete it at least most of the way, if not all the way, before giving a review.
Yeah, he still
and
has
they get
his,
backed up on games. We got skits. Like 4 coming out.
Yeah. Yeah. So shout out to them. But Sonic is gonna be one of those games where I'm definitely gonna look for everybody else's video first. I'm not gonna bite the bullet. It would have to be a last minute somebody donating or something for me to actually go and give it anybody donating something I'll definitely prioritize, but me just buying it as a fan, no.
That boy has gonna be watched heavily.
Sorry everybody fans, but yeah, I guess I can move on from that. I don't know what else to say. Real quick, I guess when we're talking about other companies, EA tweeted out something. You want to tell us what they tweeted out?
Yeah. So EA, have you heard of this? So there's a trend going on where it's like she's a 10 or he's a 10, and then it's like a petty reason why you like wouldn't want to date them. So for example, something like she's a 10 but she's never seen The Mummy, right? Something like that. Like
I've been out the loop on that, but
and it's a joke. Yeah, so it's a little joke that people have been saying. So, and it's because there's lately been a lot of like red flag sort of like popular tweets. So people were taking a joke out of it and doing more lighthearted ones for like red flags where it's like, really, that's your problem? Like, okay. Well, EA decided to tweet they're at 10, but they only like playing single player games.
Yes.
Like that's a red flag. Now, here's the thing. What some people pointed out was that EA has put out Mass Effect, Dragon Age, and Jedi The Fallen Order, all heavily praised. Let's remember, they didn't want to do Jedi The Fallen Order because they were like, nobody plays single-player games. Got talked into doing it, and then everybody played Jedi The Fallen Order. And they were like, what? People like single-player? And let's also keep in mind for their multiplayer games, 2 of their latest ones, Anthem and Battlefield 2042. Mm-hmm. So I don't think they're in a place where they can mock single-player games if all of their single-player games are vastly outdoing their multiplayer games.
Yeah, Battlefield 2042, that one, it looked like, I remember when that was first shown at like the Xbox show in 2021, I think. It looked really good with the tornado and everything, but when that came out, man, did they get crucified. It was just, the player face died so fast. Everybody was going back to the old ones. And the game is almost in a place, I don't know if it can recover. I'm pretty sure they'll probably throw one more out there. But
they put some stuff in there like for fixing. And they took one of the modes that people like the most. They're big, chaotic, 128 people. And to better their performance, shrunk it down to 64. They finally put leaderboard scores back in because they had taken those away. So you didn't know how well you did at the match, or it could make fun of other people, I guess. Yeah, that whole game just didn't work out. It just did not work out.
Yeah.
So yeah, even Vince Zampella, something like that. He works at Respawn, right? The people who made a lot of the single player stuff, right?
Yeah.
Even though their biggest game is Apex Legends and everything, but they've done other stuff too, like Jedi The Fallen Order. As soon as EA posted that tweet, they have the facepalm emoji, and they're like, "Are you serious?" So everybody called them out on it to the point where EA had to come up with a reply.
Yeah, I don't even know why they would have did that to themselves. But yeah.
They were like, pretty much like all the jokes and the clap back was like well deserved. And they're like, and anyone who plays single player games is actually an 11. And it's like, okay. Like, y'all lost. It's fine. Y'all realize it. Y'all look like clowns.
It's just crazy because at the same time, it's like, yo, EA, like, you should be in a position. Any company that's a gaming company that has a big name, you should be able to pump out the variety. You should be doing both. It should be because single player, like,
they do.
Yeah, they do both, but you should like praise both. Like, why would you, as a company, be negative in that area? Like, why would you do that? You know what I'm saying? It's just like,
I don't know.
It's like this footage, like this footage right here. It's like they sliced themselves up that fast. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, all you had to do was not make that type of tweet. You know what I'm saying? And just say something. Like, you could have just promoted the next Star Wars. It's not Fallen Order, but it's something. But like, you could have just promoted that. You just said something about that. But to talk about, like, try to talk about people who play single player games. Like, first of all, like, PlayStation 4 had over 100 million users, and it's like they're known for the single player. And there's a variety there on their single player lineup. So it's like, why would you question that if you've got to sell most of your content on that platform? That's the biggest platform, right? As far as the console side. And then the PC side, you know, they'll play that game, they'll play the other games, they'll mod stuff, whatever. But it's like, why would you alienate? That's like half of your fan base. You know, it's probably more than half if you think about, like, people who play single player. It's like, why would you?
Yeah,
like, what do you
pump out really, like, as much as I'll like clown EA, they do pump out really good single player games. Like, you know, I'm a huge Dragon Age fan.
Yeah.
And I love Star Wars. The Jedi Fallen Order game was fantastic, and I'm so excited for the sequel. And everything. So it's crazy. They could have hyped up one of their own games. They're at 10, but they ain't finished Jedi the Fallen Order.
Yeah.
And everything. Like, something like that. Like, they could have hyped up their own game, but instead alienated, trying to make a joke about half of their fan base. When their multiplayer games have not been it lately. That's the other thing that's getting me.
Yeah.
It's like, but your multiplayer games haven't been great.
Yeah, I don't know why they should have known better than that. That was dumb. They should have known better than that. They might recover. They'll recover. I mean, all you gotta do is just keep putting out the games. Be quiet and just put out the games. Just shh. No more. Yep. That leads into the next thing I think I could talk about real quick, which I don't know if you were aware, but apparently there was a lot of online hate towards developers coming from, I guess, the fan base. I'm pretty sure this is a Twitter thing more than anything. But I guess it was to the point where the God of War director, Corey, had to, I guess, address it. And I forgot what he said because I didn't really look into it. In my head, I'm like, yo, these guys everybody gets death threats all the time. But I had to really think about it. I was like, yeah, but not everybody's built for that. And sometimes developers want to put themselves in the superstar status when they go online. And they got to be aware that when you go online, you're going to get the tomatoes as well. But still, at the same time, for anybody who is just a pure fan, do not send hate mail to a developer. Just wait for the game to come out. Just get another game in the meantime. You going to really sit there and tell me you don't have a backlog? You know?
It's so easy to not send hate. It's crazy. You just don't open the DM. Like, it's so easy to, like, not do it. I don't get it. I'd rather you take your time and make sure the game comes out working than to me get it and still have to wait 6 months before I can play it without a crash.
Yeah. So overall, I just, because I don't know all the details on this. The most that I know is that developers do get online hate. And it is really disgusting sometimes, things that people say. But it's just like, for the fans, though, like, okay, if you are waiting for Resident Evil 4, for example, Like there was all those clone games that you said you didn't want to play because they were bad reviewed and would be a waste of money. It's like, yeah, I could agree they probably are badly reviewed and a waste of money. There's one of them, I don't even know if I can say it, but it's called Ebola. And it's like literally Resident Evil with Ebola. They call it Ebola. And then there's the one where they're the ones that's called Outbreak. And then there's the one that I do like that's called Daymare, right? That's more of a play on the remakes. And it's like, okay,
yeah,
the Resident Evil 4 remake is not coming out just yet. But I got all of these copycats that I can play in the meantime. Plus things like Callisto Protocol is going to come out at the end of this year. You still have, if you really want it, you still have the remake of Last of Us 1, I guess. You're covered in the zombie shooter franchise, basically. You know? So why would you go and send a death threat to Capcom over Resident Evil? You know what I mean? Or God of War for Santa Monica's like, calm down. You could play something else. There will be something else, especially if it's just third person action adventure over the shoulder, walking sim, whatever you wanted to call it. It's like, you going to tell me there's a shortage there? You don't have something else? You can't try anything else. You know? And what state of mind are you in where you gotta send a death threat to a developer? Like what? Like a developer?
Go outside. Go take a walk. And then come back and play something else. Like go take a walk because you need a break because you're losing your mind.
I don't want the games to come out broken like anybody else, or I don't want to see a lot of delays like anybody else. But I don't need to hit up somebody and say little nasty things. Most of the time, like let's be real, we don't even. You're not gonna do it on cam. We're not gonna see your face in HD. Like, you're not going to do that. We'll never know who you are. You're not even going to do it under your main profile on Twitter sometime. It's like, if you did that, at least you put some weight behind your tweets because we know who you are. But it's like, no, you're not even going to do that. So it's like, no, especially if they pull the statistics, like how I said earlier, when you only 25% of the people is completing the games in the long run. It's like, okay, why would you do that just to get it? And you're not even going to finish it. So you're not even gonna finish it. So no, have some class, have some dignity, play something else, play the clones, play the memes on Steam, anywhere, you know, play some old ROMs or something. But have some class. You're not gonna sit there and convince me you ain't got nothing else to do. Go work out, go get a second job, go hang out with some friends, go read a book, get some extra sleep, take anything else. They probably make a friend, start a podcast, and then you'll be able to do something better.
Make a podcast and complain about your game not coming out.
There you go.
Threaten.
Yeah, there you go. But I guess this will segue into our unofficial sponsorships. We don't have sponsorships, but I do want to at least acknowledge Epic Games. We all like free games. Don't everybody like free games? Well, you don't actually have to pay for anything. I know, because I claim their games all the time without even adding any type of card info. And so this is going to be something quick that I wanted to keep doing just to remind myself to download it myself. But basically, Epic Games has got 2 games coming out this week. Coming up, so you have from July 7th to July 14th to get these 2 games. This is going to be Killing Floor 2. This is a zombie shooter game. And then there's Ancient Enemy. This is a RPG card battle game. Okay, you can claim those from July 7th to July 14th. Games that are free. And the other one that I want to mention also is Amazon Prime. Apparently they have an Amazon Prime Day coming up, or some sort of Amazon Prime sale. We already know Amazon has plenty of sales, but they are doing so. Understand, for this one, you at least have to be a Prime member. However, from now all the way. So now, as a recording of this, until July 13th, you can go under Amazon Prime and you can claim 25 indie games. I don't know what all the games are. I don't have them all written down, but I can tell you there was one game there that I did have under Epic Games that was called Hue, Hue. And I did think that was a game that was worth checking out. So definitely look out for that. So that you get that and 24 more games. So it's 25 in total. And those are free if you are an Amazon Prime member. Now the Epic Games is all outright free. You just need a actual not membership, but you need to make a profile, right? You need to make a profile name.
Free profile.
Yeah, the profile is still free. And if you have a PC, even if you don't have a PC, you should definitely just make those and just make remember to just add them every week anyway. So one day you do get a PC, or if your regular laptop, we get to a point where you get a laptop that's better by default, you can start playing some of these, because a lot of times they give away those side scroller games, those older looking games, and it's still free. Free is free. And if you have a profile where it says you can download any one of them at any time, it's like, hey, it's because I know under Epic Games for myself, that's not my primary platform, but I could say it looks like I got close to 100 or probably more than 100 games that I claimed there over time, and I barely pay for anything. Like, the only time I actually buy games under Epic is when I get a email that says I get like $5 off or something, or $10 off or something. Every so often they throw me that email, and so I would go and buy something, but for the most part, like, it's free on Epic. And then Amazon Prime, you're not going to tell me you don't got an Amazon account and you spend way too much money on Amazon as it is. So even though it's free, you spent money on Amazon somehow. You overspent somewhere.
Everybody who has for everyone who has a Prime account to watch different shows like The Boys and things like that, you have a Prime account. So go ahead and get the Prime gaming stuff.
Yeah, it's a lot of cool stuff there. You also, I think with Amazon Prime, you still get your overnight shipping, or however they do it. You could tell me. I don't really
they have overnight. They have 2-day shipping and things like that. So, because I order from Amazon, I have Prime. So
I order too.
They have like free 2-day shipping and free or discounted like 1-day shipping too.
Yeah. So, yeah, big deal there. Go check that out. And I guess we can move on from there. I guess switching from one provider to the other, even though this is highly outdated now, it doesn't matter. We're going to still talk about it. I need your input on the Netflix shows. Those gaming shows they did 2 or possibly 3 weeks ago. But what's your input on that?
During the summer, the Game Fest, or Geek Week, that's what it was called. During Geek Week, they started with Netflix shows, and it took a while for me to watch these. And I went through it, and a lot of stuff looked really good. So I know they had a good chunk of horror things on the first day, right? So Wednesday, Guillermo del Toro's Cabinet of Curiosities, to me, looks really good. Like, bringing in different directors and everything to do some of this horror stuff looks great. The Midnight Club looks okay, and The Imperfects looks great. That was the one where it's like a bunch of like the 3 teens with like superpowers and everything. They look like they're gonna be doing New Mutants, but like better.
Nice
for that show. Warrior Nun, I want to get into, and then
I think I remember Warrior Nun. Yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Warrior Nun looks good, and then Alice in Borderland, to me, also looks good. Yeah, that was like they were just trapped in like a gaming simulation or like a city, and they have to like. It looks like Squid Games, but like video game related. So that looked good. And then of course Resident Evil, I want to see. I don't know if it looks great, but I want to see.
You and me might actually do like a watch party on that. We might actually just go through that. We still have to finish The Exorcist, but I guess we can probably finish The Exorcist leading up to that. Then we can go through that as well. But yeah,
that worked.
I want to see that too, even though it looks like they're definitely still going with what they've done in the past with the movies, basically what people don't want to see. But the biggest thing that actually for me was a lot of their games looked like they were mobile games, but
yes, full mobile game day.
I just want to know if you have a Netflix account. I'm actually somebody who got the Hood Connect. You already know how it is. So I got access to an account, and then at the same time I have the Razer Kishi for my phone. So I just want to know, are these games costing more, or are they included with the subscriptions that you already have? Cause I'll try a couple if it's already included. Cause I have access to Netflix. I don't use it.
I think it's already included. It better not be more. If it's more, I ain't trying them. Yeah. But they might already be included. From my understanding, they are. That they're included.
Okay. Because I would definitely try one. If somebody is watching, I don't know if I'm going to clip this or not. I probably will. Let me know, what game you want to see. And I might put some footage up if it's possible. I don't know how that would look from mobile. But I would definitely try something, because it didn't. I'm gonna be honest though, I can't really think of none of the games that really stood out to me for me to actually want to buy. But if it's just a part of the service, stood out to me at all. Yeah, if it's a part of the service, and I have the Razer Kishi, that thing is fantastic. I love that thing. Yeah. I have that, and I have a cell phone, obviously, so I wouldn't mind trying it. Or if you could pull it up on PC and play it through PC with a controller and stuff, I would try something. Yeah. But I ain't gonna lie, it was all mobile and I was just the shows, I mean, they were okay. I'm still not a skip person. I also felt sometimes it seems like they're doing too much when it comes to the skits. But yeah.
Before I get back on the movies and shows really quick, so I remember we were talking about it on our own. Day one, I actually liked the two hosts.
The first,
because I felt like one of them was she was really into horror stuff, so she was fangirling out, and then the guy looks like he's not really into horror, but open to it. But all of his reactions always look like for a non-horror fan, why would anyone want to watch that? In his head, so I felt like their reactions kind of felt genuine. It was, too much, because I'd rather just get to the trailers.
Right.
But I didn't mind them as much, as opposed to day two for the movies. Yeah. I did not like those hosts at all. They were just zero energy. They were boring. And then for the rest of the week, it's I don't really want to, during the anime, animated, an anime one, which I was excited about. So the two, they were fine. You could tell one of them is more just I'm an actress and I know a couple of stuff, the one from Arcane, versus the one from the He-Man universe. She is full nerd, so she was geeking out about all of it. It's the ones that felt genuine, I didn't mind. I don't know if they were genuine, but they felt genuine. But the ones that you could tell were phoning it in were so obvious with phoning it in.
Yeah, because it makes it worse when you could tell there's some fakeness there, and that they're just trying to get through it. Or
that movie day, they were just
they
were just. But yeah, speaking of the movies, a few of them look good. So the Gray Man, the two assassins going after each other, that got Chris Evans and Ryan Gosling in it. That looked good. The Sea Beast. It was an animated movie made by the people who worked on Moana and Big Hero 6, and I love both of those movies, so this one should be good as well. And Carl Urban's in it from The Boys. Jamie Foxx's Day Shift. Did you see that trailer?
I saw it. I mean, the main thing that stood out to me was that it's Jamie Foxx with a couple of Snoop Dogg cameos, I guess. And the way it was presented was watch this because he's in it. And I was just I guess. I'm a fan, but I don't know. It didn't give me much else. But yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. And then they had a few others. Wendell and Wild look good to me. It's stop motion. So it's Key and Peele are both in it. It's made by Jordan Peele, and the creator for it did Nightmare Before Christmas. And, like, he worked on those, like the animator for that, and Coraline. So it's like, well, yeah, I want to watch that.
Yeah, I think if I look back, they said so All of Us Are Dead season 2, I guess is what it is going to be, and then the Warrior Nun season 2. So those are two shows I haven't watched, but I was interested in that. And then Wednesday was the only other thing, really. It was Wednesday, and it's mainly for being a fan of the Addams Family. I am one of those hardcore fans where it's like I would have wanted the girl who played Wednesday to be the new Morticia, and they just spin it off.
Oh,
and
I wanted that so bad, Christina Ricci.
Yeah,
I wanted that so bad.
They should have done it.
Morticia.
Yeah,
but
I feel like that probably what is she doing right now? Like, no disrespect to her, it's like they could have paid her the money.
Like,
you know,
movies and TV shows, but
yeah, they should have gave her the bag. If we given Chris Pratt the bag to be Mario and stuff, or if we given
at least Christina Ricci wanted something people would have actually wanted.
Yeah, that's heavy. That's I've seen that for years. Yep. I've followed some horror movie fandoms where, I mean, this is like, that's more requested than Sting versus Undertaker, and even as people still requesting Sting versus. So yeah, I could have.
I was gonna say that for the animated day, there were a lot more things I was interested in, like Cyberpunk Edge Runners looks good. Love, Death, and Robots. If you haven't seen that, that's a great series. Like it's not a, like, each episode is like it's own story, and it's animated by its own people and things like that. So if you're really into animation, and you like different styles of animation, that's a great show because each episode is like own style. Skull Island, they're making something for King Kong. In the MonsterVerse.
I'm interested. Shout out to the MonsterVerse.
So, go ahead.
Say it again. What's his name? Charizard? What did you say?
What?
It's not Charizard.
No, Farzar. It was another show. Yeah,
I'm like,
Farzar. So
Charizard. Okay. Yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
For those who are into like really raunchy, dirty humor, Farzar is going to be for you. It's made by the people who made Paradise PD and Brickleberry. So it's all going to be over the top, rude, toilet humor, disgusting stuff. I find it funny. But if you're into that type of stuff, Farzar is going to be that. And then, of course, Dragon Age Bloodline and Tekken, or Dragon Age Absolution and Tekken Bloodline. Those two. I'm interested in.
That's what's up. Yeah, I the main thing though for me was Wednesday as far as the shows, just for the nostalgia part on it. I don't know what else I would.
The first thing shown is the main thing for you. It was the immediate first thing of the entire week shown.
Right. I think,
shout out to Zack Snyder.
I saw him there too.
That Netflix.
Because I was looking like, ain't that old boy? I'm like, what he doing here? But he on Netflix too, I guess. They had a lot of celebs there, and then they had a whole lot of nobodies. It was just like it was like no in between. It was like, where's the people that I kind of seen them before, but they kind of, they're coming up. It was just like, no, it was no in between. It was just like, who these people are for many years, and then it's just a whole bunch of nobody Gen Z people. It's like, okay, all right.
They're Netflix people, I guess.
I don't know. They probably, it tells you how much I watch Netflix as it is. Like, I watch a movie here and there and stuff, or like, for me, Netflix was Squid Game. I watched Squid Game from start to finish. Awesome show. Outside of that, I put it right back down. I don't log in there. I share it with family.
Watch a few things. Stranger Things. I watched Stranger Things. I just finished up season 4.
Right. I think Stranger Things, that's one I haven't gotten into yet, but I hear so many good things. Oh,
you might like it.
Yeah, I hear good things about Stranger Things, so I will be paying attention. What season are they on?
4. They just finished season 4. They got one more season.
And they've got like, don't they have like 12 episodes a season, or is it like 13, or is it like a full 20
Something
something?
like that. So like the first 3 were doing the whole like 10 to 12 episodes a season. And then season 4, they did a total of 8 episodes, but like every episode was much longer. Like the final episode was like 2 hours.
Okay. Okay.
But at the same time, people, they're gonna binge through the whole thing anyways. So I don't think the episode length, like if you work it out, it works out to the same amount of time it would have take to do 12 or 13 episodes, but like it was 8.
Okay. Well, I mean, I guess it'll be good in the long run, because I'm like one of those people who like to binge watch it. Like I watch 2 to 3 episodes a day, kind of thing, and then I'll come back like in the next couple of days. So that's where I'm at with it. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna check out Stranger Things and the Netflix stuff. But I guess moving on from that, while we're in Netflix land, did you want to mention anything about the Samsung Hub?
Yeah, so real quick, Samsung has decided to do their own like little hub thing. So if you have a Samsung Smart TV, you can now do Xbox Cloud streaming. You can do GeoForce Now if you pay for that. Nice. Stadia, they have Twitch and like a few other things. But I think where that could be, relatively convenient. Again, I look at like for like let's say there's a household with a bunch of like you got a bunch of siblings, right, and everything. It may be hard to convince your folks to buy you like the new Xbox, right, like $500 and everything. But like you can get a 32-inch Samsung Smart TV for $200, and that's at regular price. If you go like wait till Black Friday and the bad boys on super sale, like I've seen mega TVs go on sale heavy during Black Friday. You can get one of those, and then you may be easier to like keep up with like a subscription as opposed to trying to get a whole new system right then and there, and you'll be able to play the games directly from the TV.
It will be
hook
interesting.
Up a controller, you can hook up like headphones, and it's all streaming. So, and you imagine with a bunch of kids, and based off of everything that's been going on, and a lot of like work from home and school from home, a lot of people have gotten much better internet.
Everything.
So the cloud shouldn't be too bad.
I'm wondering how that's gonna be, because for me, I prefer straight download over cloud. But from my experience, it's because of things like Anthem. I remember just like any game that's like primarily online, I'll crash to the main screen all the time. And so I don't know. But it is getting better. It is getting better. It ain't getting cheaper, but it's getting better as far as the internet. So I figure at some point they will get it. Yeah, but like when they get to this point where everybody, I don't know if they still talking about it, but remember when they was going on and on about the metaverse? Like that was something where obviously you're going to need a lot of internet for something like that if you're trying to connect, But now the idea of having that is still a big deal in the long run. It's just kind of funny because I had a solo vid where it's not released yet, but basically I was poking fun at that. I was like, okay, you cut out the Xbox, that's one thing, but for all you PC heads, now they cut out the PC as well. So what you gonna say now? It's like they cut them both out. It's like it's monitor only or TV only at this point. It's like I was just like, man, because I spent the money on the system and I spent the money on the PC, and it's like now we cutting it both out. But I still have use for mine. But it's funny when you think about it in the long run. Because how do you convince somebody if you want it to be a hardcore fanboy? Like, how do you keep convincing? If we gonna cut the PC out too, like
because it's cloud streaming, and I know may not be the best. Still, like or if you're an adult, it's just like for whatever reason your job is demanding, you just don't have a lot of time to be able to play games, so you can't justify buying a new system. A TV is a TV, so this might be a separate option where you just, pay your streaming service whatever price per year, and everything, and then it's just when you could play a game, you got the cloud streaming. So beneficial for those. I wouldn't, if you're a hardcore gamer, probably no. But other than that, beneficial.
I think that it does stand out if you are somebody who really did not have money for a system, but there's that one game that's on the system that you want. Like, so for me, I don't have a back compat PS3 or a regular PS3, but there was 3 games on that system that are still on my to-do list. So that's going to be Infamous 1 and 2, and then Metal Gear Solid 4. Now, I know that they're on PS Plus right now, and I can still get them that way. But I primarily do still want to get a PS3. But let's say there's no way for me to get the PS3. Or the price is still kind of high. Like, I think those back compat PS3 is like $300. And it's like, I'm not trying to drop that. Yeah. But I can go get the higher tiers of PS Plus, I guess PS Plus Premium, right? And I can play those 3 games at least and then get rid of it, basically, like once I'm done. And so for like people who are looking at Xbox and the whole Xbox ain't got no games, you don't want to be on the ecosystem, blah, 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 you might play Starfield directly through your TV when it finally comes out and then be done with it, right? Although that looks like a game that's probably going to last as long as Skyrim, and they're going to do all these other stuff, so you might not actually want to play there, but you get what I'm saying. Like, or you might actually, you have family over. That's yeah, fam is over, so it's like, yo, cash at me real quick, or I pay for, Xbox Ultimate, Game Pass Ultimate for the month. And, because right now we in barbecue season. Everybody coming over for barbecue. You tell them bring their controllers and you pull up the app, you have a TV that supports that and it runs pretty good. Because I could imagine they have to target 60 frames. They have to. There's no way they're bringing that out and it's like, okay, this will be like 25 frames, maybe 30 if we're lucky. It's like, no, they got to target 60. So that would be cool because I was just at a barbecue kind of thing where it was a lot of people there where all ages and stuff, right? And so if everybody all you need is at least 4 controllers, if I'm not mistaken, for pretty much any game. And then you have that. So it's a game changer in the future when you're talking about having family events and stuff. I can see if you were an actual gamer, you probably still want a system or a computer or something.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's a game changer for everybody who still has those companies that like who always bust out that Wii and they're doing Wii bowling and stuff. It's like this might finally replace that if Xbox gets those type of games on their system,
Yeah.
So
another thing to think about too is if if your household, like you bought one Xbox but you got like 3 kids, right? Like the oldest one has the Xbox, or maybe you have the Xbox, and then the other ones they can play all. You don't have to buy another Xbox, so like everybody can play their own thing. Like
it streams from my system to the other TV. Yeah, and then also like I don't think it's just Xbox. I think it's gonna open up the floodgates for things like if you had the Ubisoft subscription, they might have an app with a launcher. Or
EA.
Steam might do that one day. Yeah, EA. Google Stadia, if you were that one person who got Google Stadia. Or
Stadia is on there. Stadia is on there already.
Stadia. I did a video, tongue-in-cheek video about Amazon Luna. But Amazon Luna might be another one if you're that one person who's like, I still want to play Amazon Luna. So that does open up the floodgate.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Like houses that would need multiple systems, but you don't want to pay the money for multiple systems.
Yeah,
there you go.
Majority of the people
who that's all you needed.
Yeah, majority Xbox users, they're already gonna have Game Pass, and they're also gonna have plenty of custom controllers that they made in Design Lab. So you can keep a controller and have that TV in another room and you good. You don't even have to have a Sega system. You know, I question Xbox a little bit on that part because it's like, if you were someone who had a Series X, like I have a Series X, but now there's no reason for a Series S. But let's say like
true.
It's like, did you take money out of your own I don't know. Xbox is all over the place with how they do their things, but yeah, it's like, I don't know.
Yeah, where it is beneficial for owning the system is if the internet goes out, you should still be able to play non-online games, where if it's cloud streaming, you can't. If your internet goes out, your internet's out, you can't play. Right? But if you have, if it's downloaded to the system and it recognizes your like profile for like games that don't require online, so any single player driven stuff, you should still be able to access. Where you don't get that for cloud streaming. That's the only benefit I could see. But if you don't worry about your internet ever going out, then yeah, there isn't really a need for an S unless you just don't have a Samsung TV.
No, unfortunately, I do have to push back on that slightly for Xbox only, which is negative. I don't want to be negative towards them because I'm still a big fan. I'm still trying to support them, but there was that DRM issue. So it's like, if your internet go out, you might still not be able to play something. You might not be able to play everything. Yep. Might have to pull out the...
me not knowing what I'm talking about because I'm a PlayStation guy. But
it's cool. It's cool, but you know, that's where the fun part comes in. You could pull out your Razer Kishi and the ROMs. So I would like to say real quick, I do have a game recommendation. This is my turn to recommend something. So
all right,
I'm going all the way in the past for mine because there's a game I've been playing recently that I can't seem to put down. That is Pokemon Soul Silver for the DS, originally on Game Boy Advance. You obviously can play this on anything now, including your cell phone, but get it however you get it. If you have a 3DS, play it there if you want to. If you don't, you know, you can get it however you can get it. You guys are smart. But I was playing this, man. I'm playing this now. I'm about 25 hours in according to the timer thing on there. And I'm still having a blast. It's something about playing that during the work week. Like, during the work week, you don't want to play Souls like that unless you a real Souls head. It's like you want to play something chill. And the music on those like little devices and stuff, like those old school Game Boy Advance tunes and stuff, it's just chill. It feels good.
Pokemon music has always been great.
Yeah, and so yeah, that's where I'm at with it. I'm telling people, go check that out. I'm pretty sure a lot of people already checked it out. But I am definitely going to be playing
Pokemon community.
You can't welcome me yet. According to a hardcore person, I'm probably, you got to do this, you got to do that. Let's check your scores.
You started,
whatever.
you win it. Nope.
You started, you win it.
That's not the Pokemon community. You started, you win it. Welcome to the Pokemon community. As a member of the Pokemon community, I welcome you to it, sir.
Your opinion is probably the only one I would take, so that's good, I guess. So, to be transparent,
I've played like all of them.
You played all of them. I'm just now getting into them now. Before this, I was playing Digimon Cyber Sleuth, and I will return to the game. Yes, it's just the difference between there and the Pokemons is like you don't de-digivolve a lot, or you don't de-evolve a lot unless you use some sort of stone or something, I guess. But in the Digimon one, I got to the point where I got to see Omnimon, and I was getting Alphamon, Gallantmon, and I got these guys early because I super grinded while I was like working, right? When I was not supposed to be doing that, but I did it anyway. I watch other people podcasts, and I was watching a lot of podcasts and playing the game at the same time. Because when you grind it, when you're just doing battles and battles and battles, it becomes not boring when you are watching or listening to a podcast. And so before you know it, it said I had 140 hours into that, and I knew I was only halfway into the game. But I had already got everybody I wanted. like I didn't care too much for the story as much because I was there for the Digimon and got everybody I wanted. So going to Pokemon is like it's really fresh for me because I don't know a lot of these Pokemon because I've been on the outside watching from the outside looking in. So for me, it's like I only know Squirtle, Bulbasaur, Charmander, and Pikachu and Eevee. Like I only know the people on the storefront. So when I get the game and I start seeing some of these new guys, like I didn't know Tokapri's evolved state, and I have his evolved state now. And so like those type of things is like, okay, it's new to me. I'm not prejudging all the other Pokemon because I'm trying to get whoever I can get when I get them. But it's chill. It's chill. You can vibe to it while you can listen. Like I listen to other people during the week and then I can play it, and it's a de-stressor in a way. It's so chill. Yeah. It's not like the Crash Bandicoot remake where it was like, or not remake or remaster, that trilogy remaster where it just got extra hard for no reason. It's like, it's not like that. Like that used to be a game where it's like I could just go in there and platform and have a little fun. It's like do, and then you just dying.
No, not anymore.
You just dying.
Now
dying.
You just did. That's it.
I can't wait to Crash Forest about time comes out on PS Plus because I'm looking forward to that myself. But yeah, I recommend the Pokemon game, the old game. You probably already played it, but for anybody if there's somebody out there, there's probably somebody out there just like me who prefers the Callisto Protocol looking games. It's like, give this a chance when you are in your grueling 40 to 60 hour work week and you just need something to relax to. And you pull it up on this tiny little device, your phone or the 3DS, man. Get it however you can get it. It's very easy to get if you use your common sense and do some YouTube research. That is what I recommend. Soul Silver. I'm going to go through the series, and I do plan on getting Pokemon Violet. You like
Before
Heart
people
Gold?
Get mad, or Heart Gold.
Or Heart Gold, okay.
I got Soul Silver. Or Heart Gold if you prefer Ho-Oh over Lugia, but
okay.
Yeah.
I remember seeing the second Pokemon movie. I think that was in the movie a long time ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna get Violet. I do have Legends of Arceus. I haven't played that yet. I do want to play a lot of the.
Okay. Are you settled on Violet?
Yeah, I just want to get it. I don't know why. I like how it looked. I like how the cover looks.
Like between Scarlet and Violet, are you settled on Violet?
Yeah, I think Violet. I like Violet more. I like how the legendary looks, and I like how the cover looks, and I like the color. So you were getting the other one, right?
Yeah. As of now, I'm getting Scarlet. Yeah. So we can always. I just gotta keep in mind who I can trade to get some of the Pokemon I can't get.
Yeah. Now I will say I don't know if I'm gonna start that one right away. So. But I don't know if I'll be a day one, but I'll try not to take too long because the way these Pokemon games work, they work when you are in your work week. So I might get to it by then. What do we got until December? So I might get to it by then. Who knows?
Yeah, you can take your time. I ain't in no rush, but I'll get it day one. I plan on getting it day one.
Yeah. So Pokemon, ladies and gentlemen, that is all I got to say on that. Other than that, I guess real quick we can talk about Hideo Kojima saying that he scrapped a game because it was too similar to The Boys.
That sucks. So basically, Hideo was like, he was working on a project. I don't know if it was a movie or a game, but I imagine it was a game.
Yeah.
But Hideo was working on a project, and he was like, it was going to talk pretty much like it was going to be a superhero thing, but then really dig into how like corporations would like twist it and like turn them like into problems and things like that. And as he was developing this game, then The Boys came out, and then when he started checking out The Boys, he went, oh shoot, my idea is super similar to that, and then just scrapped it. It was like, never mind. Eric Kripke, the director or producer for The Boys, and one of the lead actors, Anthony Starr, were both like, nah, please do make a The Boys video game. Like, instead of making your own like project and everything, just license it with The Boys. and everything. Like you could even use these characters. But like I'm always down for like superhero related video game stuff. And I would love something like that where it's just like you gotta go fight these super powered people as like a normal person and figure it out.
Here's my thing on it, man. He could still do it. Like we even talked about this already all throughout the show, but how many times has somebody cloned Breath of the Wild? Like you can still do it. You can still do it and it'll be fine. And I also was mentioning all the Resident Evil clones, right? The bad ones and the good ones. It's like clearly Callisto Protocol took some inspiration there from that and Dead Space. It's like technically wouldn't somebody say that's a clone? It started off that way on paper, and then it's like a very anticipated game right now for a lot of people, including myself. So
including.
Yeah, just go ahead and do it.
There's no one who would have saw this game and went, "Oh, he's just ripping off the boys," and like there's nobody who would have said that with an attitude. If anything, it would have gotten praise. Also, like, "Yo, this is just like the boys," like, and like that's the most people would have said. Like,
you know what's funny? I'm about to hit you on the head with this one. Okay, you ready for this? He looked at it and was like, "You know what? This looked too similar to that. So guess what? Death Stranding it is. We going with Death Stranding. We gonna deliver packages.
Nothing against the walking simulator, but
he was like, "Nah, let's do."
I would have much preferred voice.
Yeah, and he had a superstar with him. He had the Walking Dead dude. So it was automatically going to get some clicks and stuff. He had the highest, graphic setting. He was just like, "Nah, we doing Death Stranding. We not doing the boys." That's what he said. At some point, that's what he said.
Yeah, that's what happened.
That's what he said.
Oh, man. Again. Oh.
We got to see.
That's upset.
He has a game that he's going to do with Xbox. I guess we got to see what that looks like. But yeah, man. Death Stranding won. Shout out to Death Stranding. They made the director's cut, Shout out to Death Stranding, man. Death Stranding beat the boys. It beat it. So,
boo.
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 What was the name of that studio? I'm going to go there in this video. I'm going to clip this. But who was the guys who scrapped the Power Ranger game? They was just like, you know what?
Oh, I don't even remember what they said, but it was just AAA.
What did they go with?
That needs to come out.
What did they go with?
AAA Power Rangers game?
Yeah, I forgot what they said they went with, but they was just like they scrapped it for some project, and it's just like I don't know, but yeah, missed opportunities. Here's my thought process: it's like, yo, do both. Figure out how to get license the idea out, bring other teams in, because you know how like we've seen these game shows where it's just this influx of, conveyor belt of all these other games that everybody sees and it goes right back out the door, like right out the, it just goes right in the trash can. There's no disrespect to the games, but it's just like you see it, but you don't even really want to play it. And then you hear these ideas and it's like, well, why didn't you do it? Oh, because it's similar. Okay. So here's a good example of this then. Is the Walking Dead, like, is Last of Us not similar to The Walking Dead? What if that got scrapped? Right. Say what you want about the second game. Right. The first game did it, didn't it? Like, what if somebody scrapped it? Like, it was like, oh, we can't come out with Last of Us because it's too similar to The Walking Dead. You wouldn't have Last of Us. And now look at it. It's like one of the biggest franchises for them. They're milking it like crazy. They're about to turn it to its own TV show. It got to the point where now it's going to be its own TV show right next to Walking Dead. It could possibly be bigger than Walking Dead. We don't know what's going to happen, right? But it's like it started off being something similar to Walking Dead, right? They clearly stole assets from it. We just not going to go there, though, I guess. But there's clearly some stuff there, especially the Negan stuff with the golf club. Like, there's clearly some stuff there. But still, like, nah, they can still do that. Like, if you were not a gamer at all and you saw a first person shooter and then you saw another one. Like if you took the hubs off the screen and you just see nothing but first person shooter, would you even be able to tell which one it is at this point? For somebody who don't not even like even a casual person would have to like look at it for at least 60 seconds and be like, oh, it's that game. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like it's too many first person shooters at this point. It's like, what if somebody just decide not to make it? It's like, just go ahead and make it, whatever. This is go ahead and make it. You know.
Well, let's look at the genre Souls-like.
Oh,
like
yeah.
that just means a game that's like Dark Souls. Like so, if you like anything that's not made under actual Dark Souls developers,
they gonna turn it into a crab, right? Isn't it a crab Souls game too?
Yeah, I'm waiting. That's what I'm waiting for.
That's funny.
That is top of my list.
But there's a crab Souls game, and then there's Death's Door is the top down one, and then you have the Hades kind of thing going on where it's the roguelike version, and then there's like
the Last Faith, which is a Castlevania style one.
Yeah, just make them. Just make the games. Make all of them.
Yep.
Make the real ones and the clones. If it's bad, whatever. Like bad games. Make all the games. Don't scrap any of them. Make them all. Give them to somebody else to finish. You know how many games, like, if they think that's doing bad, they could just give it to an indie developer, and the indie developer could just work on it. Like, bring in some of these indie guys who might need a slight stability here and there, and let them finish it if you don't want to do it. Like, ideas shouldn't just be thrown away. I think everything, especially when we start to see some of the stuff that we see with microtransactions and NFTs and stuff, you gonna throw away the good ideas for that? Come on. So no, make the game, Hideo. Make the game, Kojima. All right, so speaking of not making games, Sucker Punch was not gonna make Sly Cooper, and they're also not gonna make another Infamous. How you feel about that?
Oh, that was a punch to the gut.
That was a
sucker punch to the gut.
Sucker punch.
So yeah, two of my favorite games.
They sucker punch their fans.
I love the Sly Cooper series, and I absolutely love the entire Infamous series. It's one of my favorite series at all. Okay. All time. And that's all I've been wanting. Another, there was a whole big thing where I said I would want to go back and play all three of the or all of the other Sly Cooper games if they were to make another Sly Cooper for PS5, and I wanted another Infamous game. So Sucker Punch got asked, and they were like, "Oh no, we're not working on those. We have a game that we're working on, but it's neither of those." They said that they're going to keep stability supporting Infamous 2 for a while, or something like that. And they said that there was apparently a DLC for Second Son that only came with the collector's edition that they're going to make available to everybody.
That's good. I don't think I got that, so that's good.
Yeah, but besides that, they're like, but no, we're not working on an Infamous or a Sly Cooper. And it's just like, come on, those are your games. They're fit to work on those. That's what I want.
Here's my thing about it. Just like what I said about Hideo Kojima, his idea, and also Nintendo, when they was talking about their other games, it's like, just take the names and license them out to somebody else to do it. Yeah. Just let them do it. Let them do it. The catalog will start looking bigger. Bring in the indie guys. Just like I said, just let them do it. Especially when you be having these modders and people, there's some really big talent out there that's not even an actual quote unquote indie developer. That's just they just did it for fun. They're more of the meme type developers. They're not actually putting out big games that's their own thing. They just put out stuff like those little simulators that are meme games. It's bring in somebody and let some of these people do it, because that Pokemon shooter thing, it looked like a full game for a second.
But that's the thing. So the Pokemon shooter thing looked great. That got taken down, but then Pal World is coming out, which is a survival Pokemon shooter. And then there's also somebody made from the ground up a modern looking Simpsons hit and run game that looks like it would be for like next gen consoles, like I guess current gen consoles and everything. And they were like, yeah, I don't plan on releasing it. There's just a little side project thing. It's like, yes, hire these people to do it.
Right. Yeah, they could just give that out to somebody else. No different than how, Nintendo had Ubisoft doing the Mario Rabbids game. Just give it out to somebody else, because I think somebody reached out to a company and said, I don't know who it was. Somebody was like, we would do this game. I forgot who it was. I can't think of it right now, but sometimes they ask for them, and like indie developers, their main deal is to try to get the game on the eShops usually. And then afterwards, now they got to make something else, but it's like, yo, you can have them, like, their games will instantly get more sales if they just name it like these other names, Anybody could, because Sly Cooper, anybody could have done a platformer type game and just reskinned it as Sly Cooper, and because that's all it really is just like a modder who does like reskins and stuff for other games. It's like you can officially do that, and then instantly you sell 10 times as much more, and you have Infamous is kind of the same way. Like you can Infamous, I think, is a little bit more bigger. I think they would have to do that directly.
Yeah, I would want them, but I would want them to. So, like, here's the thing. Like, I trust Sucker Punch Games. Like, they release nothing but, like, hits. Like, their track record, basically, they don't release a lot of games, but they had the Sly Cooper series, the Infamous series, and the Ghost of Tsushima. And then some game called Rocket, Robot on Wheels. That was their first game, the 64. But then after that, it was, Sly Cooper, Infamous, Ghost of Tsushima. And it's just like, so you got great games, but it's like, just work on those three. Like, those three are the only games really in your flagships. So I know you might want to do something new, which is cool. But like, I would love Sly Cooper.
Sly Cooper Infamous, is one they can easily get away with licensing that out to somebody. Because even with like, if you look at Crash Bandicoot 4, It's About Time, like that wasn't done by Naughty Dog, right? But the other ones were done by Naughty Dog. It's like you could license that out, overall. Like I think Naughty Dog sold the thing to Activision before the Xbox deal and everything. But still, you can just at least license it out as far as a game, because somebody out there are developers out there everywhere. Somebody got it. Somebody got the skill to make that. Sly Cooper is the main one though, because it's like, that's old. Like you can get somebody to do that. Maybe Infamous, you could say, Infamous is like, okay, I probably would want that more in-house. It's a little bit more recent. It's got like a certain taste, a certain way. But the platformer, come on, bro. Somebody could have done that.
And the three Sly Cooper games, like the three Sly Cooper games are like PS2. And then they released like them packaged together for the PS3. They could easily throw it on a PS5. It is not on the higher tier PS Plus. It's just not there. Sly Cooper. And like that, if that was on there, that would have been one of the leading things to get me to get it. When I saw that it wasn't on there, I was like, well, I don't need to get the high tier yet.
I was questioning some of that with the PS Now. Like it was almost like they slashed the games in half. It was just like, where is everything? Why didn't? Because a lot of it was some of their first party stuff too. It was like, why did it not port over? I don't know, but anyways, just for the new stuff, just simply license it out. I think you can do that. License it out. Let's see. So I think we are almost done, because when I look at this list, there's one big topic that we're going to save for last, but the one right before it.
All right.
The only thing we could talk about it briefly, because I don't think it was real news, but there were Persona 5 fans that were not feeling the idea of Tom Holland being Joker, the main character from Persona 5 and Persona 5 Royal.
Yes. So there's rumors that there's a movie or TV show coming out, and then the other rumors that Tom Holland would be cast in the lead role.
Yeah. So I will be transparent. As of right now, I've only gotten through the first 20 so hours of Persona 5 Royal. I'm still playing it. I'm not going to put it down, but I stopped. The biggest thing that I would say, I understand that yes, he doesn't have the personality of Joker. However, the bigger picture story here is Tom Holland basically does not need to play every video game character. He don't need to play it. He was thrown into a position with Spider-Man that was probably bigger than the video game thing. It just so happened to be the video game thing. But now it's starting to look that way because of Uncharted. And now if you saying this, it's like, okay, well now technically that's like the next one and it's him again. So it's like, okay, it don't have to be him every single time. He's about to be more times than Chris Pratt, basically, right? But it's like it could be somebody else, like anybody else. Tom Holland, he's a good upcoming actor that's gonna have a long, a long a long career ahead of him, right? To get him to like Brad Pitt level or something. But no, he doesn't need to be Joker. No. From what I've seen so far, I don't see him as Joker. Joker should be somebody. You should get someone who we don't know who he is. It works when we don't know who he is. At one point we didn't know who Tom Holland was really, and it fit Spider-Man and Peter Parker better that way. But now that you really know who he is, it's like it's gonna overshadow Joker and Persona 5 because you're gonna be looking at him and like, no, he's Tom Holland, or you might even just look at him and say that's Spider-Man. Because didn't a few of them make, what movie did they make that was in between like Endgame and something else? It was something that we saw the trailer in the theater. You remember that? And it was like him in it, and it was a couple
like or something like that.
Yeah, we looked at it like, no, that's Avengers. That's what he said. We looked at it like it was Avengers. The same thing with I think King Kong movie was the same way. It was like, no, this is the Avengers. They just do it something else. Like, because they had like Samuel L. Jackson and
Tom Hiddleston and
yeah, I was like, that's the Avengers cast. So it's like you're gonna look at it that way instead of like looking at Persona 5 as Persona 5 for a TV show or a movie.
Yeah. So my thing is, one, he doesn't need to be in everything, and that's what it's starting to feel like. Yeah. But two, there's certain movies where it's gonna be benefited from having bigger names in it because the plot seems, I guess, relatively generic, but like having these big names attached help, right? Yeah. So like in a way, for example, like we talked about for the Netflix show with Jamie Foxx in it, or the Netflix movie with Jamie Foxx in it, like the vampire hunting thing, Day Shift.
Yeah.
And everything, it's gonna benefit by having Jamie Foxx's name, because then it just seems like another just like I have vampires. Like it's just, it's kind of a generic thing. If you make like another zombie movie, it'll benefit from having big names in it because it just feels like another zombie movie, right? When you run into those things that just feel like another this, then having a big name attached helps. Like that movie Extraction that's on Netflix. Right. A lot of people probably wouldn't have seen it if Chris Hemsworth wasn't the lead actor for it.
Right. The difference though is Persona. Yeah, I was just gonna say the difference is Persona has a name already, so there's no need for no actor.
There's certain movies where you don't need big names because the property itself brings in the people, and Persona is one of those. Like people who are gonna go see a Persona movie or watch the Persona TV series are gonna watch it because they're fans of Persona, not because they're fans of Tom Holland.
Right.
And it's the same thing where you could use relatively unknown names and things like Godzilla or Kong or like there's certain movies like that where it's like you don't need to have and this actor's in it because like no, I'm not going to see it for them. I'm going to see it because I want to see Godzilla. Right? That's what I want to say. In fact, you already know I feel like for a lot of the MonsterVerse, there's too many There's too many humans to begin with.
They did that in the first one. It was like Breaking
Bad.
Like that was all I was thinking. It was like he's Breaking Bad, not old boy in the first one. I forgot his name. Bryan Cranston. Like it was like it was Breaking Bad. It was like that's my thought process. Like, that's Breaking Bad.
Yeah, I just didn't need a minute, but that's how I feel for some of this stuff. You don't necessarily need the name behind it, because people are just gonna see it, and it might be time to like put a new actor on, like check somebody new out and everything. Yeah. Plus, you could save some of your money, to be honest, that you would have spent for having Tom Holland with like a new actor, and then that could go towards the production or go towards the people behind the scenes that are working that deserve more money anyways.
Yes, that's an excellent point, because I mean some of these other guys is like, well, they get paid like Matrix what is it called? Resurrection. I think it was Resurrection. It was like that was clearly Keanu Reeves' movie. Keanu Reeves the movie, but the movie suffered bad. It's like that was one where it was like we really didn't need Neo back. You could have done something so different and saved the franchise. But no, they brought Neo back and it killed it. So so Tom Holland, you're good, but you don't need to be everywhere. I think we can end it with that. Okay, and let me just see. I think we are almost done. This is a big one. This is our last topic. It's a big one for me. You probably got more information than I do, but I just want to simply say this, and that's I do not want to see Logan Paul in WWE full time. Now, if he's there on a part-time kind of thing,
see Logan Paul in WWE, period.
Okay, so we're on the same page. Now, for me, I just feel like for wrestling, for WWE, you are making your product not look authentic. You are making it. If you was worried about anybody, you know how people like, is it real? Is it fake? I think we're past that now, but it's just like you're taking the credibility away. The credibility is dropping rapidly because of these type of moves. Because somebody's going to have to sell for him. The Miz is going to be the first one, right? The Miz is going to have to take pinfalls. And
we don't know. I don't think they're going to let him win. People like especially when he appears in WWE, they do not like Logan Paul. Like the whole tag team match at Mania, the pop that Miz got for giving a skull-crushing finale to Logan Paul for practically no reason. Like, the pop he received for that because they don't like him. Nobody likes the guy. Like in wrestling. Nobody likes him.
Here's my thing though. Is it gonna generate views for them? They need to understand when people watch YouTube videos. Now I understand this a lot more now that I'm just starting off here. But they don't watch the videos from start to finish. They don't. And so Logan Paul was primarily a YouTuber for a long time, right? And his videos are YouTuber videos, right? And those are like usually YouTubers, those type of videos are around 10 minutes. It's like that's where his fan base's mind is right there. 10 minutes or less. That's why they did YouTube shorts. So now WWE, you're expecting people to tune in 3 hours to bring him in, because it's not for the WWE fans. This is to bring in the YouTubers, the YouTube audience, the kids,
Logan Paul fans.
Right. This is you're doing it for Logan Paul fans. So you're expecting them to go from watching a 10-minute video once a day to going to 3 hours on a Monday. Do you think that's really gonna happen? Or 2 hours on a Friday or Thursday? When is SmackDown? It's Friday, right?
Friday.
Yeah. Yep. So like these are the people who are conditioned to watch YouTube shorts now. They're not even conditioned to watch a full YouTube video anymore, WWE. I know this from my own watch time. This clip is not even going to get watched all the way through. But it will be a clip. I'm going to leave it there. But it's like WWE. This is a WWE thing. It's like, why would what do you think is going to, they're not, I could see like the Ronda Rousey one made sense. whether people didn't like it in the beginning or not, like it makes sense. But
to me, any like sort of fighter moving over, I guess, makes some sort of sense.
Right, and I know some people will probably say about, okay, but he boxed and he went as far as going against some of the top guys, but it's like,
that's what I want to say. I do feel like this might be a hot take, but I do feel like it's kind of ruined boxing. I'm gonna be real, like
it was a clout match.
There's these guys who train year round, like open for a celebrity fighting a basketball player. Like, I don't know, I just feel like
it was clout. It's all clout. Now for him, obviously he's an opportunist. He's gonna go after any money he can, and I'm not mad at him for it. I'm going at WWE for this. I'm mad at WWE for this.
Absolutely.
Because for WWE now, you're making your belt, like I saw it was a picture of him, like I guess in the room, and he's looking at like Roman Reigns with the titles on like the picture. And I remember they show that picture every now and then whenever somebody new gets signed, every so often they'll show that room where they're in that hallway and they're looking at the person holding the title. So he's looking at Roman Reigns. It's like, WWE, you really think your fan base wants to see Roman Reigns drops the belts to Logan Paul? Do you not realize that this is the same thing as that one guy, Arquette from WCW, that move that y'all made fun of for so long? That is that same move. If you put the real belt, your top title on Logan Paul, that is the same thing as David Arquette, WWE. That's what you're going to do. That's not going to bring new fans in. These people watch 10 minutes of him a day. They're not going to watch the full show. And we know what's funny about it? They're going to watch Logan Paul on YouTube through the WWE clips. They're not going to watch the show at all.
No, they're going to watch that. And but unfortunately, it does generate money.
It does.
And like
people
talking about it, right? Like advertisements, people talk about it, and then when we talk, for example, Bad Bunny, who I think did a great job in the ring, like for what he did, or his one spot, or like his couple spots that he had for Bad Bunny.
Yeah.
The money that he brought in from sales alone, because his fan base, that was like their only way to get his merchandise before he went on his world tour.
Yeah.
And everything, like the bunch of people bought a shirt where he was the top seller on WWE merchandise for getting Bad Bunny shirts. And those people who don't watch wrestling, they just wanted their Bad Bunny merch before going to his concert. And they're probably hoping Logan Paul does the same thing. And they see the money that generated from him doing main events in boxing, and they think somehow that'll translate to wrestling. And I don't think it will. Like, who knows? Maybe he like commits to full time, turns into a wrestler, and he actually does well.
I don't think he's gonna. He's like not doing that.
Was a team before going over, but this does seem like, isn't it just special appearance stuff?
Yeah, it might be. I don't think he would be full time. It wouldn't make sense for him to be full time the way the Logan Paul is right now. He's jumping anywhere he can. He's getting his name out there. It works for him. Logan Paul is doing everything he is supposed to do. He is supposed to get his name everywhere he can and have fun doing it and take minimum risk wherever he can. This is somebody who recovered from the video he did of the person in Japan, I believe, on that suicide place, right? He recovered from that. That was supposed to almost take him out, but he recovered and
should have.
It should have took him out. Well, my whole thing is just now. So here's why I am 100% against it. WWE is going to do things like make people like AJ Styles job for him. And it's like, that is AJ Styles. Like, let's keep it real here. This is AJ Styles. And you going to make him, and it'll be on a random, Raw or SmackDown. And that's the thing that I don't want to see. Or even if it's not if it's like, somebody who's like on the come up that you've watched from NXT, or if you've watched before NXT till NXT until the main show, Like, these are the people who are going to job for him. They're going to job for him. And what's also funny about he's not going to have a wrestling match where he takes all of the bumps correctly, sells correctly. None of that. You ain't gonna see none of that. He's just there for name value. It's going to make the psychology look bad. It's going to make the ring like the moves look bad. He is there to get booed, and he's gonna smile. He's gonna have like John Cena 2011 energy. But that's it. It's not going to translate that well. Now, yes, he's athletic. I'll give him some credit there. But being athletic doesn't mean that you could put on a 4 or 5 star match. He is not brought in to put on a 4 or 5 star match. That is the only reason I want to watch at this point. As a veteran wrestling fan, I want to see. There would be no Okada looking match coming from Logan Paul. There won't be.
Yeah, nope.
There won't be a low-key type of match. There won't be no strong style, no luchador, no none of that. I don't expect him to be.
You don't think he can hit it?
They'll have him jump off the top rope to do like a splash. I don't expect him to do no Falcon Arrow. He ain't about to do nothing like that. He ain't about to do. I don't expect him to do anything that's going to put him in real risk where he can get a real injury. I expect him to go in there. He'll take a couple regular bumps, something like he won't be like he's not going to get a tombstone if Undertaker was still there. Even though Undertaker could probably protect him, I don't think he would do that. I think he's going to take the slightest bumps. You know what I mean? And it's for a wrestling fan. It's just the real heavy hitters is going to job for him. That's the thing. Those real wrestlers is going to job for him. Even though, because you know how that WWE card is. Like, usually the mid-carder is usually at the top of the card, and the person who should be there ain't nowhere near there. They're never going to be there. It's like, I got to sit here and watch Dolph Ziggler job to Logan Paul.
Uh-huh.
That's the thing I don't want to see. And that's something that's going to happen. It's like, because somebody's going to have to take, like, if it was me, I would want Logan Paul to be the guy who's the jobber. Like, I'll have Logan Paul go in there and get Machine Gun Kelly all day, every day. But that's not what's going to happen, though. That's the only issue. So, but I don't think that there's going to. They'll get the same numbers they've been getting. I don't think that's going to spike anything. It'll spike it initially for a week or two, but then afterwards it's going to be the same old numbers. You wasting money, WWE, for you to fire 100-something people, because I know this contract is probably not full time and it's probably not cheap. But you just got done last year. How many people was it in total? It was like a whole roster for Logan Paul. The whole roster. It was like a lot of people, a whole lot.
Yep.
Up and down that card. You got rid of all of them. Yeah, and some of them still in the game and stuff. It's like, and you need to make budget cuts, and then you turn back around and this is who you sign? Because I know it ain't no budget cut.
Yep.
It ain't no budget cut.
Yep. And I think that's another thing. There's a difference between a one-off appearance like Stephen Amell, Johnny Knoxville, Bad Bunny even. Like when they have like 1 or 2 random appearances and everything for the little, like, moment and everything versus saying he just signed a contract. I think that's the thing that bothers me is that it's a contract, which it's like, why?
Like I said, I'm not mad at Logan Paul. Logan is doing exactly what he is supposed to do as a person. It's no different than when people would say, like when John Cena would play politics behind the scenes and hold everybody else down. It's like I was a little bit more mad at John Cena because he was more of a full-time wrestler and everything. You heard all the stories, but it's like John Cena's in a position to politic. Imagine Logan Paul coming in here and he's politicking. It's like, homie, I'm mad at WWE. I don't know, whatever they got going on with Vince and stuff. Vince is uncancelable at this point after that meme of him jumping off the stairs. Even though we supposed to like cancel him and stuff. Like, It's like, dude, like WWE, I'm mad at you for that because you still turned around and fired like 100 people, and it's like,
yep,
it couldn't. Well, that was the excuse for a half of it. Like they need to make budget cuts, and you thinking it's because of lockdowns and them having the Thunderdome thing, and can't get like budget ticket cuts, sales,
breaking profit, signing on Logan Paul.
But then you give it to Logan. What?
Yep. Wild.
So yeah, we can end on that. I don't have anything else to say about that. All I can say is he shouldn't be there. I don't want to see him there. He's gonna probably be there part-time or full-time for a long time, as long as they keep giving him money. At least Brock Lesnar delivers when they give him the money. You like, I know there was a period where Brock Lesnar, it seemed like he was only there in the ring for like 5 minutes at a time. Brock Lesnar is a supreme athlete at the end of the day. Logan, I'll shut my mouth if he could put on a real match with AJ Styles where it doesn't look like AJ carried him. Even if he beats AJ, I don't want it to look like AJ carried him. Whenever AJ Styles was in one of those matches, everybody would say that's the best match of the other person's career, but not the best match of AJ Styles' career, because that's where AJ Styles is. But if he can get in a ring with him, or even if it's somebody else on a different level or something, and it don't look like he's being carried, I'll shut my mouth on it. If it looks like he's being carried and everybody's got an extra sell for him, no, he shouldn't be there. And they deserve their fan base overall dropping even more. That's all I got to say about it. I don't know. You got anything else you want to say about it?
Anything WrestleMania 39, Logan Paul versus Cody Rhodes.
Oh my gosh. All right, go ahead and do it. We're going to check them ratings right afterwards. Not the WrestleMania ratings, but the next 3 months afterwards, before leading up to SummerSlam, we're going to see exactly where they really are. But other than that, good show. I think we covered everything. I think I got something for each piece. Good show. We did it. Ending on I don't know if that's a high note. That seemed like a low note, whatever. But good show. Anything else you want to say? Anything else you want to mention, or we can just wrap it up?
Yeah, man. If any of the game developers are listening, just make the game. Make the game.
I would rather somebody make a game about Logan Paul before I see Logan Paul at wrestling.
He's at least you get a game. 2K22 or this current one. He's in there.
Shouldn't have said that.
He's coming.
I guess you can like beat him up like 1,000 times. You can go get 3-on-1 handicap matches and you can just take it out on him. That's your plan. That's what we gonna do. That's what we gonna do. Well, that is it. If you made it this far, leave a like. Thank you for your support. And we are signing out. Any last words before I sign it out?
Keep up with drinking water.
Yes, drink plenty of water. And you already know, if you've listened to the other episodes, don't forget to wash the back of your ears. Yes. And we are out.